World, we are back again, and I am trying this on a new format. I'm going off the TikTok live because you get paid on this one as long as you don't cuss. But on Octane Minutes podcast, peace to the gods, we are covering a movie, not only just a movie, an action movie that is action upon action. Didn't have much of a script, but that's okay because we are here for the boom bang and the boom and the bap. And plus, more Mark Dacascos and Drive, 1997, star Mark Dacascos, Kadeem Hardison, and the late great Brittany Murphy. And Brittany Murphy was so hot in this movie. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Everybody else was like Hong Kong or Canadian actors. You know what I'm saying? We on a Mark Dacascos a streak right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the man was more Brandon Lee than Brandon Lee was Brandon Lee. So we get it popping. We get it popping. And I got my notes. So moving along, because I think we can share these lives. So while I am just talking amongst my people on my country, I'm just gonna share this live and see if people will pop in and give a brother some coin, man. So anyway, understand and be understood. So yeah, the movie just goes right out the gate, man. It pops up. You have a ship, and you have these gangsters coming around, and they say, "Oh yeah, nah, I think that guy is here. That guy with the modifications popped up." And there's a crate going up, and there's Mark Dacascos. I think his name is Yo in this movie, so we're gonna go Yo. And he's on a net thing where because some of them ships have crates. So basically, it's like if you've seen Universal Soldier, you've seen Drive, but Drive is just the sequences is what we are really gonna drive home about on this. Um, thing I really liked about the movie was very, very clean and pristine piece. It was a very clean and pristine movie. It went straight to the point. It was not a lot of fluff or shoe leather being made. Like, they didn't tell you out the gate because it didn't matter. It didn't need to be done. It just told you out the gate. Boom. There's a guy here that we need, and he's either we tracked him and he's tracked us. So out the gate, the guy said, okay. And then they explain later what's going on because they reveal little bits and pieces of what's going on with the character, the main character, who doesn't talk much. He just kind of works as like this stoic fighting machine. So he comes up the net. The guys start busting guns on him, and he just gets to chopping and kicking and flipping. Because they have a standoff, and he just takes off into the air, does like a little spiral gainer, lands on the other side, and just starts grabbing and yoking people down and popping and chopping and kicking and jumping. And there's a cowboy character who proceeds to take chase and take issue with him, who is like the head hitter for this organization, who wants to maintain this character because he may be of a certain origin or be of a either he was constructed of something or he has something in his body, right? So it's kind of like what's that movie with Ben Affleck where they put these implants in your brain and you memorize this whole you get like a whole other different personality, and they pay you a bunch of money and they take care of all your stuff, and then every mission you do, like for every couple of years that you're doing these missions, they turn right around and just extract the information. You get your real personality back, and whatever that movie is. So anyway, so they're fighting, and then he takes off running, and everybody's on chase. And as they're on this chase, the reluctant ride along is Kadeem Hardison's character, Kadeem Hardison from Different World, if you don't know. Dwayne Wayne, the man with the glasses that flip up. A Cosby alumni. Great actor. One of the other movies he was notably in was a movie with the Wayans called Six Man, where he was a brother that was a basketball standout, and he passes away on a championship game or something or another. Has a heart attack in the middle of a game, or at the end of a game. Passes away, goes to the essence. But then when his brother follows in his footsteps to be his, to be the shadow, his brother comes back from beyond the grave to make sure that his brother has a good basketball career. His brother was not as much of a great player, but he wants his brothers to have better opportunities that he never had, so he's doing it from beyond, from the heavens. So that was one of the notable movies, and the other one was the seminal college comedy epic known as A Different World, produced by Bill Cosby, the great Bill Cosby, and the great Debbie Allen. And that was his claim to fame. He made a bunch of TV money, so shout out to that brother. So he is playing a man who is down on his luck. He is a man that just wants to write songs, as it's revealed, that he's just a songwriter, drunk, down on his luck, hanging out in a bar that's open midday, because the bartender's like, I can't just open at night. People are down on their luck here, so I'm going to go ahead and just open this bar up because this is my friend. And then, of course, Yo makes his way into this bar trying to evade these men on a mission. So anyway, there's a standoff, and then, of course, Kadeem Hardison's character is taken hostage, and there's a standoff. Police officers come, and then they're banging it out, and then there's, of course, a great action sequence, really. And and I can probably contain this whole podcast within 15 minutes. We're talking about some other things, but yeah, it's just an action sequence on action sequence. Then, of course, there's the cowboy hitter comes in there, and he does something really cool and clever. When he knows he's outgunned, he just tosses his weapon and starts begging for his life, where Yo is made to look like the bad guy, so Yo has to go on the run. And this character can recuperate as he's getting, ate up by this guy's superior bionic nuclear level martial arts skills, So now he takes Kadeem Hardison hostage. I'm going to go ahead and type in 1997 because Drive the film. So this is the best part, the interesting part about it. So there's no boring parts in this movie. Like I said, this movie is wall to wall to wall action. It's just kung fu out the gate. And then, of course, Mark Dacascos, he can still do backflips even at the age of 61, even though he's working for the Iron Chef. He's not doing so much more action. The man can still bang out. So a lot of that, only the strong ability came into this movie. And then the stuff that he learned from his father, Al Dacascos, who is one of the founders, or not one of the founders, but one of the external branches, one of the branches to Kachu Kempo. Like, I think Al Dacascos, as I said in a previous episode, he was the father, or the co-creator of Hwapkindo Chuanfa, and there's another style in that too. In the Kachu Kempo, there's like 4 branches, but of course, Al Dacascos was involved in a couple of the branches. And actually, while we are talking, and while I'm talking, one Hopkindo, make sure I had that correct. It's a very tricky word. Let me go. Oh yeah, he's also in John Wick. So the John Wick, and I might cover that. I might cover John Wick 3. I don't know, but John Wick's a pretty dope thing. So anyway, so during the driving scene, where so basically they're in maybe Seattle. Of course, there may be Seattle, Pacific Northwest, Portland, or something like that. They never really gave us. Well, maybe Seattle. Yeah, I mean, there was a shoreline. Portland is not really. I don't know. I gotta check my geography. I'm sounding like one of those guys on the talk show. Anyway, so as I'm driving, I'm thinking. After driving, I'm thinking. I was like, damn. Let me go ahead and see if they got Crying Free Man on YouTube. So I went and I looked, and as I lo and behold, there's Crying Free Man. And not the anime, the live action. I've seen the anime, and I love the anime and the live action. I remember people was telling me about the live action. A long time ago, there was a guy named guy I was friends with named Galen Rozier. He was telling me about it. And he was telling me that there was a live action, and it starred the woman from Basic Instinct, the one that Kirk Douglas was dating in that little joint, and she turned out I think she turned out to be the psycho in Basic Instinct. She was the one trying to frame up the lady. It's always the psychiatrist that turned into the psycho killers, right? I guess they already have the mind, so they kind of know what to delve into. So we're gonna go. I am just slowing up the thing. You might as well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna eat up time while I go through this. So yeah, going back to Kachu Kenpo. That's just because I'm cooking off the top of the dome. I'm spitting from the survival scrolls. Yeah, Tumpai. Tumpai was the other branch. So you have the Imperato. You have the original hard Imperato method, as I'm reminding you, Tumpai, Chuanfa, and One Hop Kindo. Those are the 4 branches to Kaiju Kenpo. And in August, in August, I will be testing for my karate and Kaiju Kenpo, and I will be coming from the Imperato hardstyle branch. Very excited, very nerve-wracked and excited. My knees hurt because we've been training like crazy on those Saturdays, and my knees are on fire, but I pushed through because it's something I really want. So yeah, I went to go watch Crying Freeman. What up, Daddy? So I go and I look and find Crying Freeman, and it's basically 1-to-1 to the anime, just not as bloody or like perverted like the anime. Them anime people be doing. Them anime people are all freaky deaky boys. So they like to draw boobies and public hair. I'm immature. Yeah. So so yeah. So I go back. I say, well, I'm gonna go back watch the rest of Crying Freeman on YouTube, posted by some dude from like maybe the Middle East. But so I go and watch, and then of course they go and they don't make it quite to L. Oh no, actually, so going back to Drive, there is. I know we gotta hang out again, man. Very soon, man. I'm gonna try to make my way out that way, out your way, brother. But yeah, so yeah, they're driving, and then the car breaks down. Then they go in the hotel. Then Brittany Murphy's character, she's like a weird sex fiend, and then those hitmen come to chase them. And this is like the best action scene. It was like a whole fight in the garage. They were shooting and kicking, and they're fighting in the hotel room. All like 3 of them, the girl, Kadeem Hardison, and Yo were fighting these hitmen, these soldiers, and they couldn't shoot. They didn't care if they killed Kadeem Hardison's character. They just needed to get, because they just revealed what was in. It was like a implant that was in Yo's chest. So they pulled out these tasers, and they fighting and they trying to stick this dude with the taser, and they doing all sorts of wild shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they fight into the garage because I think Kadeem, it goes. Kadeem Hardis's character was working in the garage when they started fighting. Then they just kind of all teamed up and converged. And by the end of the fight, they make it outside the hotel, and the main hitman. Not how the crow got shot. We're talking about the guy, Mark Dacascos. He played the next crow after Brandon Lee, but I think it's because he looked just like Brandon Lee, and actually he looked more so like Bruce Lee. I'm also recording this on a thing, so for unvisual reference, I'm also talking on live. Yeah, Mark Dacascos. He did a couple of movies. He did Only the Strong is a movie about Capoeira. He's a pretty. No, you know what? He's the host of Iron Chef. He's the host of Iron Chef. So if you watch the Iron Chef in America, that's him. That's him. So there's a big action sequence there in a hotel. Then they blow up the hotel, and then I think they were going to take Brittany Murphy with them. And Brittany Murphy was good looking in this movie. She was really hot. She was a little sex fiend. She was getting off on all the violence and stuff in the movie, but then she didn't get naked or nothing. So it's all good. So yep, that's him. That's him. Well, I forgot. I don't know who the Japanese version of the guy is, but yeah, the one here is that guy. So then they go to a club scene, and the club scene is like a big crescendo, and then they send this main hitman in that's like just like him, got the same type of implant, and they have a whole fight. But this is like in the middle of me jumping and saying, "Oh, I'm going to watch Crying Freeman." As a matter of fact, Danny, if you do get a chance, look up Crying Freeman. That's actually a good movie. That's a good action movie. And I'm actually going to save this live, hopefully, on TikTok, and then you'll see. I don't know if you'll see the thing scroll on YouTube, but I'm gonna be doing I do obscure movie reviews. Side note. But so yeah, there's a big action scene, and then him and that other cyborg guy, because they're like cyborgs out here. Are you now? You watching that? Debbie Does Dallas. But so they have the fight, and I guess the one dude, the Costco's was getting the upper hand on the other guy, and then the guy gets the upper hand, but then his shit started malfunctioning, and then his implant malfunctions, and he can't do anything, so his body craps out. And then the other hitman's like, nah, you can't get it. He's like this cowboy guy. It would be great if they gave Mickey Rourke a job, but I think Mickey Rourke was trying to be a boxer then. So then he slides up and he has like a detonation device. You take the honey pack. All right, man. You got to take the honey pack with the hypnotic Hennessy. And take a little bit of Andre Champagne. You drink a little bit of that Thug Passion. So they call it Thug's Passion. So he goes and he has the detonators on him, and he's trying to get him. He's trying to get that last thing, but then they stop him from getting the detonator. They double kick him in the chest, and then they set off the detonators and they blow him up into pieces. And they still ain't make it. And they still ain't made it to L.A. So it's still left in the. it's still left up in the air. But Drive is a cool movie, man. Like if you like to see just a bunch of punching and kicking and not much of a plot, which is cool. I don't care for much of a plot because I'm covering B movies on this channel now, so that's what we enjoy. You have problems rolling out of bed, so do you roll and hit a kickstand, or when you hit a kickstand on the edge of the bed, and then you gotta tuck it into your waistband. You gotta flip it up and tuck it into your boxer waistband, and then move around. That's what usually happens. But oh, that's what's up. Yeah. Oh, she's big mad. You a show pony. Okay, you be wearing her out. That's hilarious. Love you too, Danny, man. Yeah, we gotta get up soon, man. It's been far too long, man. It's been too many years past. And you right across the state line, man. I definitely gotta get out yonder that way. Go see everybody. Probably sometime. I'll probably try to get out that around that way sometime after August. Something or another. But all right, I'm gonna jump off this live. I gotta go hit my girl back because she just called and I just kayfabed her off the line, so she probably mad at me, gonna cuss me out. But I see y'all later. Peace. How do you turn this thing off? Okay, hold on. There you go.